Shalom Mishpachim, welcome to His Narrow Bridge. Our time together today is meant to immerse ourselves in the Word of Yahweh. It is meant to be a personal time of connection to the Word for each of us. I will read each word as translated in English in an interlinear Hebrew Bible. These shows are pre-recorded, so I will be in chat when they air. Feel free to use the chat to post anything that comes to your mind as we read the word. We will begin with prayer, followed by time for each of us to say our own personal prayers. Our beloved friend Alan Horvath taught us, make Elohim number 1 on a list of 1. We pray in the name of Elohim, which includes Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you, Elohim, for our lives and all you provide. We ask for a hedge of protection around our mishpacha as we pray and study. We love you dearly. We are your children. We come to you with questions as we seek our personal relationships with you. Please help us learn. If any darkness enters our time together, we ask you now to rebuke it. We will now listen to your word as we immerse ourselves in it and let it speak to us. If you're looking for a more narrative version of the word, I recommend you go to hallelujahscriptures.com and order the dramatized audio DVDs, which Alan participated in making. Hallelujah Scriptures also has a reference book of name meanings, which I will use periodically in these studies. And formed Yahweh, Elohim, out of the ground every beast of the field and every bird of the air. So forming out of the ground, the Yitzer, Vayitzer, Yud Tzadik Resh, and formed Yahweh, Yud He Vav He, Elohim, Ayin Lamed He Yud Mem, Min, for out of, Mem Nun, the ground, Ha'adamah, root of Adam again, Kol, all, and beast. Okay, so animal, Chayat, fence, Yud, fence, arm and hand, and marker for beast. Of the field, Hashadeh, Hasadeh, Hey, Shin, the, so field, Shin, Daled, Hey, teeth, door, spiritual man, and the Et, connector, Kol, all, bird, Oaf, Ayin, Wav, Pei, I, tent peg, mouth, for bird, or beak. Hashamayim, of the air, Hey, Shin, Mem, Yud, Mem, water in the air. So every bird of the air, and he brought them, Vayave, and he brought them, Vud, okay, Yud Beit Aleph, arm in the hand, house, and headship. So Abba Father bringing all the animals to Adam. Abba Father and Yeshua bringing all the animals to Adam. Al Ha'adam, to see. So here it's interesting that Yahweh and Yeshua are seeing what Adam will call the animals, giving Adam the authority to name them. Lerut. So I see the name Ruth in here. Lerot, but it's Ot. Okay, so Lamed Resh Aleph Wav Tov. Okay, to see. So Yahweh seeing the man's head, Yahweh, tent peg, and naming. Ma, Mem, He. He would call. So more than a name, it's a call. What is the animal's call? Yud Kuf Resh Aleph. So arm in hand, sun at the horizon, man's head, and Abba's headship. Them, lo. Another example of lo, which usually means no, being used for them. And here to be. V'chol, and all, whatever, is asher, aleph shin resh, yikra, yud, kuf, resh, aleph, and whatever called lo, to be, Adam, each creature, ha'adam, nefesh, nun, pe, shin. So creature, it's also the word for soul, seed, mouth, and teeth, and living, chaya, chet, yud, he. So living creature, Adam is calling it. That was its name. So a name is a calling of living creature, what we call it, who, Shemo, his name, the O is its name. Okay. Oh. Who, that, Shemo, Shin Mem is name, teeth, water, blood, and tent peg, his name. So gave, Vayikra, and Yud. Okay, so call, the same root as call, is to give a name. Kuf, Resh, Aleph, sun at the horizon, man's head, and Abba's headship. So gave Adam, Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, Shemot, Shin, Mem, Wav, To. So names, this is the plural, Ot, but I also like looking at it as a sign. A name is a sign, shame, name, but Shin, Mem, Wav, Tau. Two front teeth, water, tent peg, and marker. Lechol, to all. Lamed, Kaf, Lamed, open palm, for everything. And livestock, like the cows, the cattle. Habahema, we looked at earlier, but naming all the livestock. Behema, house, spirit, water, spirit. And to the birds, le'of. So birds are their own plural. Lamed ayin vav pei. Here's oaf. Eye, tent peg, mouth for birds. of the air, the shamayim, Hey Shin Mem Yud Mem, Hashamayim, the heaven, the air for earth, Ulechol, and to every, Lamed Kaf Lamed, every beast, Chayat, Chet Yud Tav, of the field, Hasadeh, the Shin Dalet Hey field, Ul Adam, and for Adam, but for Adam not was found a suitable helper. And Lamed Aleph Dalet Mem, to Adam, Lo, not, no, Ma'ah, Matzah, Mem Tzadik Aleph, so finding Adam's helpmate, water, path, and so finding headship of Yahweh, the path of Yeshua, the water, the blood, trying to find a helper, Ezer, Ayin Zayin Resh, that's the helper, helpmate, eye, plowing tool, headship, suitable, Kaf Nun Gimel Daled, Keneg Do, Kaf, open palm, seed, foot, door, tent peg, all those attributes of a suitable helpmate. And cause to fall, so falling asleep, Vayapel, so and Yud Pei Lamed, arm and hand, mouth, staff, Yahweh Elohim, Tardema, deep sleep, Yud He Wav He, Elohim, deep sleep. Tov, Resh, Dalet, Mem, He, marker, headship, door, water, spiritual man. Upon Adam, Al Ha'adam, and he slept, and Yishan, Yud Shin Nun, sleep, arm and hand, two front teeth, and seed, sleep. And he took, this is Yahweh taking, Wav Yud Kufchet, Vayikach, taking out of Adam is arm and hand, time, and the fence surrounding the body. This is surgery. One, Achat, Aleph Chet Tav, Echad is one, Achat, used here, of his ribs, Mitzalo Tav. So, Mem Tzadik Lamed, Otaiv. So, one of his ribs, this is the root, Mem Tzadik Lamed, water, path, staff, that's the rib, and closed up. Vayisgor. Okay. And Yud Samech Gimel Resh, closing up the sutures, the thorns, Gimel, the foot, the head, that's closing up the body so that the insides are unseen. basar, in the flesh, beit shin resh, so flesh, house, headship, teeth, cutting, Yeshua, headship, in its place, tachtenna, marker, a place, marker, fence, marker, seed, hay, its place. And made, vayiven, made Yahweh the rib. So taking the rib and making it into a woman, making is Yud Beit Nun. House of Yeshua, the work and the seed. Made Yahweh Elohim, Yud He Wav He, Elohim, Aleph Lamed He, Yud Mem, Et, Aleph Tav, the rib, He, Tzadik Lamed Ayin, that's the rib, the path, staff, I, which, Asher, Aleph Shin Resh, he had taken, Lekach, take, the staff, the sun, time, the fence, taken from the body, min ha'adam, from Adam, min ha'adam, into a woman, le'isha, lamed aleph shin, isha, lamed aleph shin, staff, headship, two front teeth, or two. And he brought her, vayebiyeh, and Yahweh bringing the woman to the man, Yud Beish Aleph, the arm and hand, Yeshua, house, headship. So this is presenting the work of woman to Adam. Aleph Lamed, to Ha'adam, the man. And what's Adam's reaction? And said Adam, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, because out of man was taken this one. That's how much Adam loved Eve. The Omar Hadam, and said, Vayomer, and said. So Adam now speaks. And the first words out of his mouth, Adam, Zot, this, Zion Aleph Tal, headship, plowing tool, marker, that's this. Now, Hey, Hap Ha'am, spiritual man, mouth, eye, water, bone, Ayin Sadik Mem, okay, so eye, path, water, for bone, Me'atzmei, from Mem, Ayin Sadik Mem, bone, eye, path, water, Yud is possessive, my bones, and flesh, Wav is and, Basar, Beit Shin Resh, flesh, house, teeth, headship, of my flesh, from Mem, Basri, Beit Shin Resh, The yud is possessive for my. Lazot, this one, to this one. To is the lamed zot. Zayin aleph ta, this marvel in front of me, this Wonder Woman. Lazot, Zayin aleph ta, plowing tool, ox head, crossed sticks. Shall be called V'yikra, V'yikri. It's that same calling. Isha, woman. So Isha, Aleph, Shin, Hey. So the headship, the teeth cutting, and man with arms raised, the spirit. Isha. He, because. Me'ish, from man. Okay, because, ki, kuf yud. Mem, from ish. Aleph yud shin, for man. Headship, arm and hand, and two. Was taken. Lekacha. Kuf chet hey. Taken. The time, the fence, and spirit. Zot, this one. Zayin, ayin, Zayin aleph tav. Plowing tool, headship, marker. Al, therefore. Al kol, al kain is therefore. Aleph lamed kuf nun. Therefore, the eye, the staff, open palm and seed, shall leave man, his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and they shall become flesh one. Okay, therefore, ayin lamed al-kain, Ya'azav, Yud Ayin Zayin Beit, arm in hand, eye, plowing tool, house, leaving home. Ish, man. Avi, u. So his father, the vav is his, ab. So father is ab. When we say Abba, father. So Aleph Beit, headship, and Yeshua. And mother, Emo. The et, Emo. Aleph Mem Wa, his mother. So aim is mother, headship and water, blood. So bloodline through the mother. It's Judaism traditionally to determine if somebody is Jewish, if their mother is Jewish, the person is considered Jewish. And be joined to his wife. Vadavak, and Dalit Beit Kuf, to join, door, house, cycle. Be'ishto, to is his, and two, wife, ish, ishto. Beit Ayin Shin Tov, so his wife, headship, teeth, marker, tent peg, and they shall become. So Wav Hey Yud Behayu, Hey Yud Wa, to become. Spirit, arm and hand, tent peg. They shall become. Lebasar, to flesh. Beit Shin Reish, basar, for flesh. House, teeth, headship. Man, one, echad. Aleph, chet, dalid, wav. Aleph, chet, dalid. Headship, fence and door. Vayihu, and were the two of them naked, the man and his wife, and not were they ashamed. Vayihu, and were, Yud He Yud Wab. So being, arm in hand, spiritual man, arm in hand, tent peg. That's how they were in the garden. The two of them, Shenechem, so that's the form of two, conjugated. Shenechem, Shin, Nun, Yud, He, Mem, the number two, naked. Arumim, Ayin, Resh, Vav, Mem. Okay, so the suffix ym is both of them, but arum, eye, spiritual sight, man's head, tent peg, and water, blood. So nakedness, the man, water, spiritual sight. If Yeshua is not in this, there's nakedness. Adam, the man, the Ishto, and his wife, and not ashamed. So, Adam, the Ishto, below, ashamed. Yitbo Shashu. Okay. Yud Tof Bet Shin. Arm in hand, marker, house, Yeshua, and teeth. Two teeth and tent peg. So looking at these four letters, to be ashamed is shame for you. Yeshua, the marker, the hand, and the teeth. Not to be ashamed. And not were they ashamed. Yud, the arm and hand, crossed sticks, the marker, the house, the teeth. This is interesting. Covering their shame, they crossed their hands, but they were not ashamed yet. They were naturally naked before Yahweh and Yeshua. And we are not meant to be afraid. That's the meaning of the closing song. Lo lefache klol, not to be afraid, have no fear at all. In future years, you may want to celebrate Sukkot with a sukkah kit, which is commercially sold and allows you to build your own sukkah or booth on a deck or any open space that you have. So this is a very simple kit that I'm going to show you. It's 6 foot by 8 foot, which will create a rectangle, and there's a roof. There are 5 bamboo poles, which I needed to purchase separately. They have notches in them, which go on top of the metal that holds the structure is just a metal box, and the bamboo is needed to be put on top of the metal so that the roof does not rest on metal, which is considered artificial. The wood, the bamboo, is more natural. And I'll open up the kit next, but just to show you what it comes with, there are 4 of each of these poles. Now, the middle pole, the left and right poles are used to make the 6-foot by 8-foot, the base and the roof, and then the middle poles are used to hold up the roof, and there are notches, so you could see that these fit in to these slots, and I'll show you when I construct it. But there are also these notches, and these are used to hold these bands, which are called Mahendran bands, and that is a religious term, because in order for the sukkah to be constructed according to the laws in the Bible, metal is not considered good enough as a material for a sukkah. So as an alternative, we put these bands through these notches. So these indicate the bottom. So the base will be made from these 12 metal things, and the uprights will have the notches, and then we'll put the bands in last. Okay. Now the roof is very special. It's called a shach, and it comes with a kosher certification. So it is an investment. So I got this in 2011. Wow. So, yeah, if you ever sell it or transfer it, you can certify that this roof meets the requirements. And what is interesting, it is just poles of wood connected by fishing line. So if you're ambitious, you might want to make one yourself. But this is what's available. And then once the structure is in place, this kit has the material that covers the sides. It makes the walls and the windows. And I'm going to unpack it and show you the full length. And just some tools, simple tools. You'll need a mallet to get the metal pieces to go in securely, and some bungee cords. If you're putting it on a deck or any place where the wind can blow, you want to secure the bottom of the structure to your deck or other place. So you need some way of securing it to the ground. How about tent pegs? When you're purchasing a sukkah kit, you want to do your research first online and find a reliable company, and give them a call and talk to them about your needs. How big is it, and what are you going to need? How much is it going to cost? So I'm just showing you the one that I got. Okay, what you're seeing is the material that will go on, that will form the walls of the sukkah. So this big netting here is the door. So if you have a slider door that's an entrance to a deck, you want to make sure that the door is in the right place. So what we are looking at is the inside of the sukkah. So there's a zipper to open up the door, and there are little pegs. I'll show you that later. So the Velcro is used to attach on both sides to the metal structures. And here's a window. And another window. So you can see how big this is. So as you're setting up the beams for your sukkah, if you feel any resistance, it means that you're doing it the wrong way. So with a few trial and error, I had to figure out that this is the way it is supposed to be put together. So these beams come together at a notch, and then the vertical beam fills in the notch. And there should be no resistance when these square things go over the hooks. And then the Mahendran band hooks are on the outside. So the walls will be on the outside of the structure, so you'll be able to still put the bands through these hooks when you're inside the sukkah. So what you want to do is get like 2 beams up and then put the cross beam on the top. So when you put the cross beam on the top, you want to use the mallet to hammer in the cross beam into that square hole so that it is secure and that you have it standing securely on all sides. And then you repeat with the other beams. So be careful when you're on a step ladder doing this, and expect a few tries until you get it right. Okay, so once you have the frame up, it should be pretty secure and standing on its own. Just make sure that these things are in as much as you can. They'll be easy to get out, but just by tapping on the bottom, it'll pop right out when you need to disassemble it. So what I recommend you do is get everything that you're going to need inside the structure, because once you put the wall up, you can only get out one way. At this point is a good idea to secure your structure to a permanent deck, a permanent structure, using bungee cords. So it's very simple, just put it around, snap it in, and move it to the outside. Okay, so now it is secured to one of the posts on the deck. Do that on all 4 sides. Okay, if you like Velcro, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. The roof is secured to the metal with the Velcro, and you start with this post, just securing the leftmost edge. Then you have the door, and then make sure I brought the poles inside here because that's going to be for the roof, so that I have it. And then you just keep draping the walls around your sukkah. So when you wrap it all the way around and you come back to your starting point, there's Velcro on the left of this panel to secure it to the back of this panel, and little strips to further secure it. Okay, so Velcro is very strong, and then you have all the fun of the Velcro on the bottom. And those go underneath and around. So get all your Velcro secured, and you're already starting to appreciate the blessing of this shelter. It's a temporary shelter, but imagine yourself in the desert, and today it's a pretty hot day with the sun out, and you could feel Yahweh protecting you from the hot sun already as you're building this. And then when the roof goes up, you'll feel it again, and then you'll have many blessings inside it as you celebrate Sukkot. Another wonderful meltah is that you can learn how simply doors and windows were made on structures like this, just by tying little threads together with pegs. Okay, so after you completed all your Velcro fastening, you want to put the bamboo or whatever you're using to support the roof on top of the structure in equidistant pattern, but you're going to need to get the roof through it. So you'll need to move one of them aside to make room for that, and then lay it flat and then roll it out. Now, Yahweh gave us this moed as a gift for ourselves to appreciate the simplicity of life and to go back and think about the exodus from Egypt and living in the desert and receiving the Torah. And look at this little gift he gave. The moon can be seen during the day from the sukkah. Okay, so now you can see how you start rolling out the roof. So it is an open roof that you're not isolated from the heavens. You have little cracks opening up for the divine to enter. So you continue rolling out the roof. And then what you want to do to make sure it doesn't blow away is to put wood blocks on top of it on each end to secure it, to make sure that wind won't blow it up and take it away. Okay, our roof is up and it's beautiful, and you can see the sun peeking through the roof. The next step is to put the Mahendran bands on. So they secure and they fit into these slots in the posts. So it's just a little clasp, and then you bring it around and secure it in each post. And then you open up the windows and look out upon Yahweh's beautiful world. And here's a window that also lets in air. An important aspect of Sukkot is to make it personally meaningful for you. For me, these are little peas that I grew this summer. And for me, what that meant is I had to prove to myself that I am capable of growing plants in containers on my deck. So this means a lot to me, to have these little peas that I can harvest. And another thing, there are many rules that you could learn about Sukkot and the traditional plants that you bring into the sukkah, like the myrtle and the willow. You can search for that all online, but use your discernment to figure out what works for you. Just something personal to me. This is a box, and those Hebrew letters are etrog, and that is the traditional fruit that is used in the sukkah. It looks like a lemon, but it's grown in Israel, and then this little box is used to hold the etrog. It has a little clasp, so you can see it's a big fruit, so you need a big box to hold it. And look at the design of this woodwork. And this box has special meaning to me because it was made by a friend who passed away from cancer, and he did this loving woodwork. He made many wooden products, and his wife sold them after he passed away, and that's when I got this. So make your holiday personally meaningful to you. When your sukkah is complete, you want to give thanks to Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh for their blessings and the gifts that they have given you at this season, for everything that they provide. This sukkah is a provision. And make a personal communion. This is unleavened bread, or matzah, and it represents the body of HaMashiach as we remember his sacrifice. If you want to have wine, I recommend a wine not made with grapes, like blackberry wine. The Nazarenes did not drink products made from grapes. So it's in commemoration of the Nazarenes with whom Yeshua was associated. So let this teaching be written upon your heart so that you discern the best way for you to thank Yahweh and Yeshua and the Ruach HaKodesh for the gifts that they give you every day. And I also see it as a gift that after all the soul searching of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and we've made it through that cycle and we're ready, we've repented and we're turning in new directions and new years. May it be for a blessing for all of us, especially in this year with the challenges we have faced. The fact that we can enjoy this freedom that Yahweh gives us every year on Shabbat and special Moedim. This is the last Moedim until Passover, Pesach, which will be in the spring. Okay. Keep your wicks trimmed, your lamps lit, and Yahweh willing, we'll be together.